method for it. It might take a while. Those kind of transactions don't go through the judicial system super quickly, but you have an avenue. Yeah.
I mean, does that happen a lot?
I've never seen it where, a builder just didn't finish a job. I imagine there have been cases where maybe a builder, went out of business
we've heard about GCs all the time, general contractors who bail, leave, don't come back.
Yeah, but the general contractor works for the builder. So,
right.
For you're on one end of that contract. The person who's selling you the property, is selling you the bill of goods, so to speak, is the other. So
and the money you put down, isn't it in escrow?
Supposed to be, but not everybody puts it where it's supposed to be. So, we recommend that money be held by a third party title company. Usually these builders, the bigger builders, of course, have title companies. Where I could see you having a problem would be with a smaller one-man shop. If you've got a guy who's a builder, he may be perfectly reputable, but let's say, he passes away.
Bad things happen.
He dies or something happens crazy like that. You could be in some limbo. Great question. You're listening to Home Loans Radio. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Sabrina from the News Junkie, and that mortgage guy Don is my best friend. And now back to that mortgage guy Don on Real Radio.
Hey. Welcome back to the Home Loans Radio Show. That's right. You're listening to Home Loans Radio. We're here live every single weekend morning doing what we do. I'm here with my crew. Good morning to you, MJ.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Oh, that's Fritz over there and they running all the gizmos and the control panels and that beautiful, sweet tune you just heard when we were coming back from the break is one of his musical creations with his band Corvus Incorporated. Thanks to you and Sabrina for letting us play some of those awesome tunes during the show. Thank you so much.
The goddess, Sabrina Umbra.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And we're here. We're
worshipped
doing what we
by
do.
A whole city.
What do we do here? If you're new, let me tell you what we do. We talk about home loans and mortgages and real estate, how to buy homes, sell homes, investment properties, homeowners insurance, taxes on your home.
Ooh, you make it sound so good.
Credits.
Make it sound so sexy.
Keep talking, baby.
Ooh, yes, tell me more.
I'm just getting warmed up.
Don't leave out any interest rate information.
Nope. You can count on it. What's in the news about mortgages? The rates are still low, right? Right, MJ?
Low and slow.
And you guys are
the
cutting
highest
up a
rated
lot
show
today.
we've ever done, by the way.
You guys are cutting up a lot today. I gotta say. We are
sorry, not sorry.
All right, Gilly. Man, you got me off track here.
You're talking about the things we talk about.
Yes, I'm talking about mortgages and home loans. Yeah, so rates are still kind of at record lows. You guys can go get coffee for a second. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna.
The adult is talking.
But rates are still low. But I was saying in the first segment, I think they're starting to creep up. We're seeing like literally little ticks, and when I say ticks, I mean between each eighth of a point, like between 2.875, where rates still are, if you're well qualified on a 30-year, to 3%. There's 100 ticks, 100 basis points, and then all of a sudden, when you get to that 100th one, it ticks up, and now the rate's 3%. So it's there's some in between, but we've been seeing things kind of creep up by 15 ticks, 19 ticks each week for the last 3 weeks, and I'm thinking that it might be going back up. I've been saying it for a couple weeks. If you're thinking that now's the time to do a refinance, you want to get on it quick, go to homeloansradio.com. We make it super simple. You hit the apply now button. Me or an agent, one of my licensed loan officers will talk to you and put together a quote for you, and we'll send it over to you in your email. If you like it, great. If you don't. And at least you'll know the answer. You won't be sitting there wondering. There was an article a couple of weeks ago at Bankrate that said that of people out there in the United States that could refinance and save over 1% on their mortgage interest rate, meaning going from a 4 to a 3 or a 3.875.
I mean, but when you say 1%, if you don't understand how mortgages work, that just doesn't seem like a lot.
It's huge.
Well, it is 1%.
Right?
Yeah.
I put it in perspective for us.
Well, your rate is now 4 and I get it down to 3 on a $200,000 house. It's probably going to save you close to $200 a month.
Okay.
So,
and over the life of the loan.
yeah, over the life of the loan, you got a 30-year loan. That's 360 payments. That could be $72,000. So it could
Right?
be
It's
a big
big
difference.
time.
Yeah, but
By the way, good job doing all that math in your big head.
Thanks. We're on air, right?
Right.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
I can always dump it.
It is a live show. You can text in your questions, anything having to do with real estate, mortgages, etc. Rates are low. Volume is listings are up. New listings are up. So if you're thinking about buying and you got pre-approved, or you want to get pre-approved, or you were looking back in January and you got frustrated because there were not as many houses on the market, the number of listings has been going up 21 out of the last 25 weeks. So we're seeing more properties on the market. The property prices are not accelerating. They're kind of staying a little bit level right now. It's a really good time to do it. You want to find out how? Go to homeloansradio.com, hit the apply now button. You can do a pre-approval there. You can send me a quote there if you got a quote from your lender and you want a second comparison. We can get that out to you very quickly, very easily. You don't have to do not a whole lot of hassle. You just go there, hit apply now. We'll put together a quote for you. Then you'll have an idea of whether you're overpaying, whether you got a good deal. We'll let you know. But you can text in right now your questions to 77031 while we're doing this here radio show, and we'll answer them live on air. And we've got a lot of them in there. Let's jump on.
Let's go. We had a bankruptcy 8 years ago, but my credit report shows that I've only had credit history for about a year and a half. I'm in my 50s, so I've had credit for a lot longer. I simply can't figure out why.
Yeah, that's hard to say. I would.
But did the bankruptcy reset their credit? That doesn't work, right?
It doesn't reset your credit. It will show some of the items on there for up to 10 years that were included in the bankruptcy. It should still show your credit history in the bureau going all the way back, 20 or 30 years, however many years it's gone. There's a date on the credit report, at least the one that we pulled, that says first initial trade line, in the credit report. But if you don't have any trade lines, like if you live on cash for 7 or 8 years, your credit report's going to slowly get, fewer and fewer things on it. And if you haven't had any credit for 10 years or so, your credit report could be blank. You might not even get a score when you try and do it. So sometimes you've got to go out and get new credit to reactivate your credit report. I can take a look at it for you. If you got a report, you want to get it to me at homeloansradio.com. I'll take a look at it and see if I can figure anything out for you.
All right. How much do I need to put down not to pay PMI? And what's PMI? Tell the people.
PMI is when you're buying a home or refinancing a home. But when you're buying a home, if you don't put down at least 20% on a conventional loan, you're going to have PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. And this is an insurance policy. This is an insurance policy that does absolutely nothing for you, except it allows you to get into the home for less than 20%. But the insurance policy covers the lender. So if you don't pay your payments and they have to foreclose on you and take back the house and pay legal fees and fix up the house and mow the yard and pay a realtor to sell it, then they get the money to do all that from this private mortgage insurance policy. So it really insures the lender and helps them cover costs if you get foreclosed on your mortgage. So if you put down less than 20%, then you're going to have PMI on your mortgage. But the less you put down, the more PMI you have. So there's different options. You can do 3.5%. I'm sorry, you can do 3% down on a conventional in some cases. That's going to have the highest PMI typically. You could do 5%. It'll have a little less PMI. 10% down, you have a little less PMI, and 15%, even less. If you put down 15%, your PMI may only be $40 or $50 a month. But if you're putting down the minimum of 3%, you might be paying $200 or $300 a month as part of your mortgage payment into the PMI. So that's kind of a PMI roundup, so to speak.
Anthony says, nice seeing you guys at the comedy show last week. That was fun.
Anthony, thanks for coming up and saying hi. So many fine folks came up and introduced themselves and said hi. Because we make things so easy, we do mortgages virtually. Right. We do everything online. I don't meet the clients 99% of the time. Occasionally, someone will come to the office and drop off documents or something like that. So I've talked to people on the phone. It's one of those where you talk to people on the phone 20 times, but you never actually meet them. And it was so fun. Great to meet Anthony and so many other people that came up and said hi and introduced themselves.
They said, you did my mortgage.
Yeah. Hey, I'm so-and-so. And I was like, oh, yes, I remember every detail.
That's got to make you feel good, right?
No, and some I do, but when you're doing the number of mortgages we are, I don't remember the detail. A month afterwards, I don't remember the details. I remember names, of course, and people, but it was really great to meet folks, and everybody was super nice. I really liked that guy that came up to you, Fritz, and said, "Hey, you're Fritz," and you said, "Yeah," and he just walked away. That was awesome.
Him and his wife. It was two people. I was like,
what did you do to them, Fritz?
I don't know. It was like, two two sides of the same coin. They just shut me
Wow.
down. It's okay though.
Wow.
I'm used to it. I can take it.
Very good.
I cried.
It's okay. It's okay, Fritz.
I'm not that strong.
I know it didn't bother you, so that's why I made sure to bring it up again.
Yeah, thanks. Really tackling my self-esteem here, Don. As I sadly sip my coffee.
Welcome back. Thanks, Anthony. Welcome
Keep
back.
it up, Fritz.
If you need to relive it again later, just let us know.
No, I'm sure you're bringing it up.
Hey, Don, can you refinance after doing a loan modification? We're currently in the process of a loan modification with our mortgage company after a lengthy forbearance. We know our house is worth more now, and our credit is much better. We'd like to refi out of our PMI.
Yeah, you absolutely can. We're doing,
Nice.
a lot of those. I bet I have a dozen refinances going for folks that had a tough time over 2020 and 2021, where they had an issue with COVID and had to do the forbearance program on their mortgage. The forbearance program on the mortgage, where you were allowed to basically talk to your servicer, your lender, and arrange that you didn't make the payments, and those payments got moved to the back of the mortgage. And in some cases, if you're not back up to speed fully, they may even do a modification to try and lower your payment or lower your or stretch the loan out further to try and make it affordable for you. But either way, the answer is if you just did a forbearance and you're done with the forbearance and you're back to making mortgage payments, then once you've made 3 mortgage payments on time, then we can close on a new mortgage. So we can really start that after you've made, 1 or 2, we can get everything going. And then once you make that third, then we're done. You can do the refinance. If you did an actual modification, same thing. You have to have made 3 payments. If it was a COVID related modification, you have to have made 3 payments on time once the modification agreement starts. It's basically like a new mortgage is what a modification agreement is. And sometimes they'll, add those other things onto the end. Sometimes there's some fees. So when we get the payoff, we'll see everything that they've put together, whether they moved it to the end or not. But absolutely, you can go to homeloansradio.com, hit the apply now button, and you can get started. We'll put together some numbers. We'll look at the history of everything, make sure it's going to work. And then, away you'll go if it's a better deal for you.
Here's another COVID question. Morning. We took a mortgage deferment during COVID through our current lender. Mm-hmm. We've been back to normal payments, but I'm not sure if taking that negates us from being able to refi. I know it does with our current lender.
Yeah.
So kind of the same question.
I'm not sure why. Yeah, it's kind of the same question. They said they took a forbearance and they're back to making payments?
Yeah, they took a deferment.
Right.
And they're with their current lender and they're back to normal payments, but their current lender says they can't refi.
So that's interesting. I don't know why. Well, there are some servicers. So there's a difference between a servicer and a lender. A servicer is who you make your mortgage payments to. There are certain servicers out there that don't do mortgages. All they do is collect payments. So they're not going to be able to do your refinance. You're going to have to come to somebody like us to get that done.
Did they do the modification, the servicer?
I don't know.
Generally.
They said they did a deferment, which normally means
I see.
it's the same as a forbearance. Forbearance means your payments are deferred to the back of the loan. Mm-hmm. So I think they may be using that word for the same thing. If all you did was a forbearance and there wasn't a
deferment is what they called it. Yeah.
Yeah. Then those payments were moved to the back of the loan. You're back to making normal payments. Then you're fine. You just need to talk to a lender like us that can do loans. And there are some lenders who like keeping their profile really clean. So it might be one of those companies that are like, yeah, you got behind once. We're not gonna refinance your loan. If you want to get it refinanced, go somewhere else and do it. That could be the case as well. But we're happy to help you. If you're back on track, then it's a pretty easy process. It's really not that much difference than any other refinance. We just put it together, document that you've made the payments, document the time that you were deferred, and then we can get everything put together. The good thing about the forbearance was that it's not allowed to affect your credit score. If you got behind because of COVID, your credit score should still be good. And that means when you refinance, you can still get a good rate. If you had just fallen behind on your payments, and gotten a 30-day late on your credit, that would be bad. They're not allowed to report any lates on your credit report or ding your score if you did the right thing. As long as you went
through the right channels.
As long as you did the right thing and went through your servicer and did an official forbearance and told them, hey, I can't pay. And they move those to the back of the loan. Great question. You're listening to Home Loans Radio. We're going to take a quick break and come right back for the final segment of the morning.
Do you have a question for that mortgage guy, Don? Text us at 77031. Now back to Home Loans Radio on Real Radio.
That mortgage guy, Don, exploding the myths surrounding mortgages and home ownership like them turlets on TikTok. Fritz here with you. We got MJ and, of course, that mortgage guy, Don. This is the last segment. Text in your questions to 77031 or forever hold your peace.